Welcome. In this tutorial, I'm going to take you through on how to make use of three math and trig functions in Excel, in Microsoft Excel. Number one is a sum. Number two is a sum if, and number three is a sum ifs. The sum is an aggregate function. For example, if I want to know what the total sales is for this transaction, I want to know what the total sales is, I'm going to use the sum function to do that. So I just come below, use my alternate plus equal key. It's going to capture it from D2 to D91. That is correct. This is Z2 and the last cell is D91. So it's your enter key. So now I know what my total sales is. I'm going to bring it up so that it's going to be visible. Just drag it up. So this is my total sales for all the countries, the product, and the months in the data. Now, what if I'm interested in knowing what my total sales per country is? How much did we make in France, in Italy, in United Kingdom, Belgium, Poland, Denmark, and the like? So I want to know. So I'm just trying to break down these sales now. I will use the sum if. Sum if is based on just one criteria. Just one. So sum if it is France. Sum these products are these sales if it is United Kingdom. Sum these sales if it is Denmark. Sum these sales if it is Germany. Sum these sales if it is Spain. Okay, so let's get the unique record here. The unique record. So I can use my unique function to get unique record equal to, unique. Okay, just and the array is, we just select this and enter. Okay, so now it's giving us 0 here because there is no, nothing, because I selected the whole cell. But I'm going to do this again and you'll discover it won't give the 0 depending on my selection. So equal to, so I'm selecting the real range now. So unique, right? Unique. So I'll select the range starting from here and enter. Can you see no 0? Because there is no empty cell there. Okay, so now equal to sum if. What is the range? The range will be the country. In the range now, comma, in the range now, what really are we interested in summing up? Getting value for is Germany, right? Comma, what is the value we want to sum? Is the sales amount, and that is all. Then I have, just double click, then you have the total sales per country. Now I'm going to add this up, plus equal, enter. Now the difference is supposed to give us the same amount, if not for decimal. So if I remove the decimal here now, just come to home and the numbers, then I'll add comma and remove the decimal. Then it's exactly the same amount because we are looking at different things. Just a breakdown of this is what we have here. Yeah. Right, fine. At another time, we might be interested in knowing what the total sales per country per month is. Now, we cannot use sum if again because we now have more than one criteria. We are going to use what we call the sum ifs. Okay, so let me do something. I'm going to use another method here to get unique record. I'm going to use another method. So the method I'm going to use is, I'll go to my data, advanced, then just click on copy to another location. The list range, what do we want to copy? We want to copy dates. So I can pick my date here. Then the copy to, we are copying here. So I'm going to pick this copy to this location. Unique record only. Don't copy everything. Just pick unique one. Pick January 2021, February 2021, March 2021. Okay? And click on OK. Okay, so this is unique. So we have from January to May 2020. Okay? So fine. Now, let me just, okay, so this is fine here. So I'm going to copy this, Control C, and paste here. Okay, I'm going to paste as value. As value. Yes, because it's formula. So I'm going to paste as value. Fine. Now, I'm going to also copy what I have here. Control C. But now I want to paste it as a transpose. I want it to be on a row. So I'll click on transpose. Okay, can you see that? So I've transposed this. Now, what is the total sales for this country for January, February, March, April? This country for January, February, March, April, May. Just like that. So I'm going to use sum if. So equal to sum if. So that should be if. Right? What is the summary? What really do we want to sum? We want to sum these cells. So I'm picking D to D. That means I'm selecting all the cells in that column. Now, I'm going to lock it. I'm going to lock it using my F4 key. Just press your F4 once. Later, in another video, I'm going to explain what referencing is and the type of referencing, the relative, the absolute, and the mixed reference. Just follow the way I'm doing it now. Then, comma. The criteria range 1. I want to know what my total sales. This I'm just interested in all the total sales like this. I'm interested in the total sales per country. So I will pick country in my criteria. I will lock it to, comma, which of the country, Germany. All right. Now, here I'm going to use what we call mixed reference. I'm going to lock the column. 1, 2, 3. Press F4 3 times to lock the column. Now, comma. Now, the next thing is criteria range 2. Can you see if I put a comma? Then which is what? My dates. I'll log this, comma. Which of the date? January 2020. Then I'm going to log the row here. And that's all. Enter. Then if I copy this to the right, it will be fine. All right. And if I double click to copy that, it's still fine. Now, let's test something. So if I decide to sum alt plus equal, enter, I'll double click, then alt plus equal. Now, you discover that it's still the same amount you have here, and you have here. Because it's just a breakdown. We are breaking down the sales. This place we broke down the sales into countries' performance. Now, this place we broke down the sales into country and the day based on their monthly performance. Now, the next one we're going to do now, I'm going to delete this actually because I don't need it, just to show you how to. Now, the next thing we are going to do now is we want to bring another criteria into it, but in another way. Because we have occupied the rows and the column. So we're going to bring another criteria into it. And the criteria we are going to bring into it is at these two criteria, the product A and the product B. Okay, we have just two products. I'm going to just copy that out and paste it here. Just two products. Now, I can create a cell here, right? And create a validation to list my products. Just to have a list of my products, right? A list of my products. Yeah. So go to data data validation. Can you see any value? You change it to list because we don't want any value. The default is any value, but we don't want any value here. We want list. So what is the source? So the source is this product A and B. We want the system to list these two products in my there. So just click on OK, and that's all. Now, can you see product A? And I can select either product A or product B. Now, I'm going to adjust this formula. Usually, I will have just adjusted it, but for the sake of this class, I'm going to delete this and do it afresh. Okay. Now, equal to sum if. Okay. So, what is the sum range? Sure, this. I'm going to lock it, comma. What is the criteria? I want to know what the total sales per country is. So the criteria is country. The criteria range is country. I'll lock it, comma. What is the criteria, Germany, this first country? Then I will lock the what? The column. 1, 2, 3, comma. The next one is the criteria range 2, which is what? Date. I'm going to lock it, comma. What is the criteria? January 2020. Now I'm going to log the row 1, 2. Okay. Now I have more criteria now. Now the next one is products. So I'm going to select products. I'm going to select products. Now I'm going to lock it to. And what is the criteria? The criteria is the product I listed here. This one I can give it an absolute reference. So if I copy down, it will move. If I copy right, so I just press my F4 key once, function key, and enter. Now, you discover that the value here is different from the value here. Why? Because the value here is for all the products, while this one is for only product A. I can change it to product B and the value will change. So the summation of product A and B will give us this, right? Fine. So let's copy. Let's drag to the right and down. Okay. I'm going to drag it to the right. And I'm going to copy down too. So the summation of all this one will only give us the money we made for product A alone across the countries per month for the period. Fine. Now, the good thing about this is that you can even prepare the calculation, prepare down for the whole year, so that as more transaction comes in, then the system would update automatically. I don't have to refresh anything. The system will pick it up because the formula has been referenced properly. Okay, because we've done your referencing properly, so the system will pick it up properly for you. Okay, so okay, let me select this month, then drag it to December. Right now, and this same formula, I can decide to drag it, but it will be 0 because there is no transaction yet. And I can bring this down. So, and that is it. Now, the same thing, I can do the same thing here. I can just select these two and drag it. Then, just come here and drag. Then, just bring this one down. So, now let's try out something. I want to update my data now. Let me have a transaction for another transaction. Let me just copy this. I'm going to just copy about 2 transactions from here. To see, right, and paste it. So let's have a transaction for uh, June. So I'll just change it to 6. Add another transaction for July. Another transaction for August. Another transaction for September. So let's go back to our results. Can you see that default is being updated? By default is it being updated. But let's check why this did not update. Now, what product is that? Did we update? I think we updated about the last. You can see they are all product B. They are all product B. June, July, August. That is why there is no record here. But if I change this one now to product B, you'll see the effects. Can you see it? You now have it on the product B. Now, we can also do something. Finally, let's just do something. We can just create a chart. I can create a chart. Now, let's create a chart with this. And before I create the chart, I can equally decide, I can format this as stable. Format this as stable, format the other one as also as stable too. So to format as stable, I can use my Control T. Okay, so the system will pick and enter. I can also format this as stable, Control T. Okay, so this have a closer range with another one. So I have to define my range. Okay, so Control T is picking beyond the range I want. So I want it to pick from I7. Okay, so 7. Then my table has an header. Fine. Okay, so that is fine now. So I can format as stable. As a matter of fact, I can filter. Once I format as stable, I can filter. I want to get for just this analysis for Belgium, for Denmark alone. So if I want for Spain alone, and Spain and France, I can select. Okay, so I can say, oh, this report for Spain and France for only product A is going to give me. For product B, it's still going to give me, and I can clear it for both. I can clear my filter. Just come here and clear filters for the and O. So that is 1. 2 is finally I can create a chart so that I can see everything at a glance. I can create a chart to represent it. So let's create a chart. So to create a chart, just go to your insert. Then you're going to say, let's go for a column chart. So we have different column charts. So let's go for a column chart. Or you can equally pass through the recommended chart. Pass through the recommended chart, okay? All charts, and you pick the column. So I can go for any of the column charts. Let's go for this. I don't want to stack one. Okay, the stack is not the best, so I could go for this. Yes, the clustered column. Yeah. I could go for the clustered column. Now click on OK. So you can see this. I have my charts. So let's even take this to another sheet entirely. Let's take this to another sheet entirely so that we can see it better. So I'm going to copy this and take it to another sheet. So let's take it to another sheet. And I'm going to change the design. Yes, I'm going to change the style. Okay, let me just change the style. Yeah. You can change the style. Just go to your format. Chart design and pick another. So I'm going to go for, let's go for this. Fine. So I think this is fine. Now the beautiful thing about this is that I have some chart elements here that I can use to filter, right? So chart filter, I can filter. You know, this is for transactions per country per month. So this is January, February, March. The color code there represents January, February, March, April, you know, down to December. Now, anyone without bar. So if I change this from, this is what we use here. I can delete this. I don't really need this again. Now, the only one, if I change this one to product A, it's going to change. As it's changing here, it's changing here too. You can see that there's a change on the chart. So for product A, we don't have any product from any sales from June to December. It is only for, and that is why you discover this purple, April. Everything ends in April, right? But if I change it to product B, you will see the difference now. It will change here, and can you see it? We have some bars here. Even though April, since look at this now, Denmark. There is this pronounce, what month is that? I think that is September. September. You can see it. You can see it. Now, that is one way. So I can now filter. Oh, I want to just see for a particular month. So I can unselect and select, let's say for January, for all the and apply. January, for all the country. So this is in January. Can you see January 2020? Right? For all the countries, these are sales for January. I can filter out and say, I want to see for January and February. I have a comparison. So I can have my January and February alone. And if I want all, I will just select all and apply, Then I have for everything. Now, one final thing. I can begin to decide to bring my slicer here too. Because I might want to filter, per the country too. I can try to bring my slicer here too. So to bring my slicer, since I've converted this to table, from my table design, I will get my insert slicer, right? Then I'll pick, I only want the country is in column, so it's called column 1 here. You can always adjust that and click. So let me just take the slicer, just copy this and take it to this other sheet. And I can change from slicer setting, I can change this, change it to multiple color and just drag it down and, just bring it up. And I can also bring this. I didn't plan to do this, but it's always interesting. So now I can bring this up a bit and bring this. Okay. Now I can use my slicer on this Belgium. It will only give me this for Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Netherlands, Poland, Spain, United Kingdom. Now, mind you, this is just like a basic dashboard. If you want to do a more comprehensive dashboard and all, it's better to use a pivot table. I'm going to one of these tutorials, I'm going to explain how to make it of a pivot table to create a dashboard, a more detailed dashboard. So this is just use of formulas and tables. Now I can clear this slicer, and if I want to pick more than one, I will just use my my control key, to pick randomly the what I want and all, and I can clear filter. So one final thing. Now, I can change this one now to product A, and it will change. Yeah. What if I want to bring this now to where I have my chart, so I can do my selection and visualize it. So let's create a space here. Let me change the design so that it will match up with. So I can change it to something like this, so it will match up with the color we have here already. Fine. So I want to do something now. I'm going to create. Something here. So I'm going to create a validation. Now, this validation I created here, I want to move it to, so I can delete this. I want to move it down here. I want to move it down here. Okay, so I'm just going to adjust my formulas. Basically, just going to adjust my formulas. I'm just going to adjust my formulas. So instead of having this here on this cell, I'm going to just change it and move it to the new another sheet. That new sheet. So I'm going to reference, put, okay, this is my comma, then reference this. But I've not created a validation yet. So lock it. So it's going to look like, oh, there's a problem, because I've not created a validation yet. So let me go and create a validation. So I can create a validation here. I can come here and say, oh, data validation. Oh, which of this cell did I use? I think I used A2. Okay. Okay, A2, fine. So let me create a validation there now. Go to my data, then data validation list. All right, fine. What is the source? So I can always reference the source here, the source that I have here. Fine, and click on OK. So now I have product A and I have product B. Right, so which is still referencing this. Can you see? It's back now. Okay, that should be back, right? But so I want it to be applicable here and here too. Right, then I can change. So this is no more, I'm no more using this. I'm not using this for my, so if I want to see for product A, can you see it? For product B, can see that. Now, product A, for which month, I can just filter. I want to see for January alone and apply. Right? Across the country. Remember, it's just across the country. I can decide to select other country. Now, if I want to see for, I can select another month, filter, another month. Let's say I want to see for, uncheck this, and let's see for June alone, apply. Nothing for product A. Remember, there is no June, July, August, September for product A. There is no record for that. So let's change it to product B. Can you see? So we only have that transaction for product B for United Kingdom and Belgium. Let's go back to our data. Let's go back to our data. Let's go back to our data. Can you see? We only have United Kingdom and Belgium, okay, for this period. Okay, so let's go back and see. Let's go back. Which month did I was selected? Okay, just for June. So July, August, September, okay, for product A. July, August, September for product apply. So, can you see it? These are the 4 transactions we added and 4. Now, if I change it back to product A, we won't have things like that, no transaction for that period until I come here and I clear. I clear my select all, you know, and apply. Then it's back. I can filter, I can do whatever I want to do with it. I just enjoy, you know, analyze your data and present properly, summarize your data properly. It could be interesting to use. And in order to try, I'm going to explain referencing, and another one, pivot, and how to create a company. Is just a very basic dashboard, a comprehensive dashboard, you know, that, and you can create a design around this and be able to do quite a lot of things. So this is not a section for chat. I would have explained how to create format your chart properly and the likes. So this is just to take us through how to make use of the sum if. We've used the sum if, we use the data validation, we use the unique function, we use unique records, we use table, we use slicer, just to be able to create basic analysis. So now, as you update your data, your record, your report, your analysis is being updated. You don't have to be repeating the same thing all over. You can have this as your mini dashboard and your basic, and be able to visualize things in real time. As the data gets into the system picks it up, and you get the real value, the real-time value, the real-time results for your all reports based on your data. I hope you've been able to gain one or two things in this tutorial. Thanks for your time.